after a full year of doing video and voice calls, we would have sussed out how to activate a microphone and
Hey, I'm just glad I'm just glad that musicians know how to use Skype, you know.
I'm the drummer. I'm just hitting things here, just shouting at but I did something, so here we are.
Way back in the day, the only people who knew how to use Skype were porn stars. So that's where we did most of our Skype calling. Except we did interview an Amish guy, an Amish musician. He had the hat, the whole 9 yards. And but we've got some great guests with us today. They join us live here on kjagradio.com. I'm going to go ahead and let you guys introduce yourselves, and I'm going to let the people with talent talk. So go ahead, everybody.
We are Speakeasy Circus. We're an indie funk band from Glasgow, Scotland.
Awesome.
Thanks very much for having us.
Awesome.
It's great. Yeah.
So the time difference, it's probably, what, 10 or 11 over there right now? Or
It's 11 o'clock, about 11 now.
Wow. I thank you guys for staying up late. Doing this.
First, probably.
Doing this interview with us today. So go ahead and introduce yourselves, guys. Tell us something about yourselves.
So my name's Jack. I play guitar and sing in the band.
I'm John Wallace. I play saxophone and keyboards in the band.
Yeah, I'm Chitonda Ridley, or Chats for short. I'm the guy on the bass. Yeah.
Of course, you guys are from Scotland, and one of your band members has the last name Wallace. You can't make these things up here.
You actually have to do that by law. Otherwise you're not allowed to do that.
Well, as things get more popular, you may have to have a guy play a triangle in the band, and his last name will be McGregor. So that might become part of the new law. But so how did you guys get started as a group?
So we originally started as a bit of a solo project that I was working on, just recording demos in my bedroom. And then us three were all playing in a different band together. And when that kind of finished, I told them that they would become superstars if they came to play with me, and just totally lied. And but it was too late, and so now they're in the band. Yeah, and that's how the band formed.
Yeah, I think for us, like I was kind of outside of the band at the time, and it was through a mutual friend that introduced me and Jack. And I got the exact same spiel and got roped into it. But yeah, it's doing not too bad so far. So
Exactly.
That's awesome. So tell me about this name. How did you guys come up with the name of the group?
So the name basically came from just wanting to put together a bunch of words that wouldn't have been put together before. I wanted to kind of my inspiration was things like, Arctic monkeys and stuff like that, where the first time you hear it, you're like, what is that? And now, 10 years later, everybody knows straight away what it is. Like, you don't even think twice about it. So I was like, we should try and make a name like that as well, that just is like kind of a random thing that like has this idea of being like an eclectic kind of mix of lots of different things, like lots of different styles of music, and then try and make it a household name rather than picking something that was already known.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you guys have musical heroes and inspirations, influences. Tell us a little bit about those.
Yeah, so I mean, the reason that I played the guitar to start with was Slash from Guns N' Roses.
That's awesome.
As a 9-year-old child, my dad put on Appetite for Destruction in the car, and I was just like, oh my god, what is this? And what is the sound coming out of the speakers? And I asked to get guitar lessons, got an electric guitar for my next birthday with a Guns N' Roses guitar book, and that was it. That was me absolutely hooked on playing the guitar. So that's probably the sort of foundational influence that I had. Yeah. What about you guys?
I mean, yeah, it was like I sort of played the weird instrument in the band, the saxophone, which is what people don't necessarily expect to be in a band like this. But I think one of the things that makes it interesting to play in this band is that everybody's got different musical tastes. Everyone plays something different. Everyone's come from a different kind of background. I think mine rather embarrassingly was the episode of The Simpsons with Bleeding Gums Murphy in it. And when I was that age,
That's great.
it's awesome. It's huge. I think I was like 13 or 14 at the time when I saw it. And that I just pestered my parents to about my saxophone because I just love that sound. I was like, I want to get that sound. And I wish I had a better story about it. I've been wanting to change it as well.
I think that's a good story.
I've been wanting to. I want it to be different. Like I heard John Coltrane in a bus, and I thought it was great. But no, it was the Simpsons that was mine. I feel like
That's
mine
great.
it's like a jazz. It's like a jazz. It's a jazz background I come from, mostly, which sort of influences me the most. I would say.
What about you, Chaz?
I mean, yeah, I learned how to play. I started playing bass in Malawi, in Africa, and the initial. I mean, I started off on the drums, but they kind of discovered quite quickly I wasn't a very good drummer. So, and I couldn't play guitar, and I still wanted to really hang out with my friends who were playing music. So eventually, they gave me the bass and taught me how to play. Seven Nation Army and Sweet Child of Mine by Guns N' Roses, and I played them wrong. I still probably can't play them, but here we are.
We would have gotten so well. Just playing Sweet Child of Mine as 10-year-olds.
Exactly. But yeah, that's basically. I kind of play anything and everything. I just really enjoy, learning about music, and it's it's such a big part of my life that. If ever there's a need for bass or double bass anywhere, I'm the guy.
That's awesome.
I think for me it was my parents had the good intention that I would start listening to like the Bernard Purdie and like the Ringo Starr, all like the kind of old school famous like household drummer names. But then when I was like down. When I was younger, it was all down like the skate parks and hanging out with all your friends, so it all became like more punk rock stuff. So everything from like Bob Bryve, like My Chemical Romance, Traco, Green Day, all of those types of influences just started flooding in. And within a year, it was my mum and dad were regretting getting me a drum kit because I was just bashing out all different kinds of punk rock, just making as much noise as possible. But then, as I grew older, you actually start going back to the stuff that they actually wanted you to listen to in the first place, and you get a real appreciation of what the drums are and what connect. It's amazing when you listen to it, you feel like there's more than four limbs of one person doing something. It's like they've got like something attached to their head and they're hitting something. It seems like there's 5 or 6 people playing something at once. But yeah, ever since that, it's just been hitting stuff is the way forward for music anyway. So
Awesome. So the first song we're going to play is Lions Should Hunt. Tell us a little bit about this.
Yeah, so that's our new single. It's just come out, so it's on Spotify, Apple Music, all those sort of things. And basically the inspiration for the song was after seeing an advert which has sort of a busty blonde woman sort of selling something, and I kind of just thought that it was a bit of a shame that first of all that was like the tactic, and also that it worked. And so I kind of
that's great.
I kind of had this idea to write a song about like guys and men being told that they should be a certain way and that they should like certain things, and like through adverts and through different things. And so I kind of came up with the idea of having like the lions that they should hunt. Lions should hunt. Obviously the lions don't hunt. It's the lionesses that do most of the hunting. And that's kind of where it came about. But I didn't want to make it too depressing or too thinky or anything like that. And so we decided to add in some sort of funky horns and like different breakdowns and stuff like that to make it a little bit more upbeat, and that's how the song kind of evolved.
Perfect. Well, we're going to play this track. We'll be back with these guys after we play this. It is Lions Should Hunt, and it's here on our big program, kjagradio.com.
Stocking clothes and stocking time. Let us help get them off for you. Caught in zone, step into mine. That's the dream that we transmit. A car and razor say it is. Blonde with big tits, fuck Everest. We guessed it's what you want, you didn't ask for it. You are nothing from the wild. Use your nose, vitally required. Exposed to the view of an almost thing. It's an act of seduction to stand here and drink. To stand at the water and shout out the lion should hunt. Don't take my place, I'm the hunter, not you. This is unusual, it's something I never do, God forbid. You run the race without the pole to mark the start and the end. Oh, this gunfire is without my finger. Cardi, point that barrel at me. I'm not scared. We both eat at this table, so leave the food and fuck me instead. You are nothing from the wild. Use your nose, vitally required. Exposed to the view of an almost thing. It's an act of seduction to stand here and drink. To stand at the water and shout out the lion should hunt. Don't diminish me to a creature, don't fucking insult me. Like blood to the water's not an accurate analogy. Brass straps haven't evolved so you can't study, move or think. You've got a fucking iPhone, you're not acting on instinct. Oh, thank God you got a daughter. Or I guess you would hate women in an even more obvious way. And it hurts to realise that all your favourite characters are creeps and all the actors that play them too. They're follow lights in the zoo and we'll all be predators soon.
That is Lions Should Hunt. And it's here. On kjagradio.com. I almost don't know where the hell I am sometimes.
That's probably time.
But we have got the guys back with us here on kjagradio.com. And so the song reminded me of like ska music. Like the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones and people like that. I think that's awesome.
You're not the first person to say that,
Yeah.
and it surprised us when somebody said it for the first time. But I think you might be the fourth or fifth person that said that it has a ska feel to it.
Weirdly enough, it's how we all met. It's how us three met, was playing in a ska band.
A sort of ska
previously.
band, yeah.
I don't think that was like, I think going into writing that song, it was never a ska
Well,
thing.
it already existed before we were in that
Yeah,
band.
yeah. No, I mean going into Lion Should Hunt, writing that song. I don't
Should
think
Hunt
we
existed.
purposely made it.
Oh, right, yeah.
We didn't purposely make it a ska song. I think that just sort of but I think that happens quite a lot anyway. Or it happens a lot in different elements within writing songs. We're not really going for one particular thing. It just sort of ends up as a sort of weird amalgam of a bunch of different things. And then sort of people sort of try and sort of go, it's good. But yeah,
But it's cool to hear other people say things about it that we hadn't thought about originally.
No, absolutely.
Which is nice.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, what are some of your goals for your music?
I mean, at the moment, everything's has changed a little bit because of coronavirus. So our goals have had to be modified slightly. I think that we were quite lucky to get some recording done before we went into our second lockdown here that we're in now, and so that's the reason why we kind of have some music coming out at the moment, which is nice. So I think we're just going to focus on releasing music, sort of writing over Zoom and stuff like that when we can, working on some demos, and then fingers crossed over the next couple of months or in the next year or so we're able to get out and start playing gigs.
Awesome.
In Scotland, Field. Honestly, everything's a little bit up in the air, which I think is the case for most musicians at the moment. So we're just gonna make the best of it and see what we can do.
Yeah, I think just adding to that is, even though Jack's saying the goalposts have kind of shifted for musicians everywhere, because like live music doesn't really exist at the moment. I think what's the best, our goal for this year would be to actually build up enough momentum and enough like excitement and hype, so when live music does return, like the excitement is just building. So, and then it will just get everyone out, because when everything opens again, everywhere's going to be jam packed. Everyone's been missing the music and been missing all the entertainment industry in general. So it's going to be pretty wild. Hopefully, when everything gets back to some sort of normality.
Fantastic. We have got some great guests with us today. They join us live here on kjagradio.com. You can get more information on the band. We've got everything we're going to be posting about the band on kjagradio.com. So tell us about this next tune that you have for us here.
So the next tune is Neon and Daylight, which was the single that we released last year, and this was meant to be our festival summer banger. That was meant to be a happy summer song that everybody would be able to sing at festivals, and we released it in April with a view to having it
to play all the festivals we had booked.
and all the festivals got cancelled. So
yes.
Release the song anyway.
We decided to release it anyway, Neon and Daylight and everything prior to Neon and Daylight was still when we were just recording in our flat. So we've got like a little cupboard next to my room, and we've got a mic set up there, and all the horns, all the vocals, everything was just done in that little cupboard. Just people coming in and playing their parts separately, and then we just mixed it ourselves and just put it out. And then that song was kind of what got the attention of the Animal Farm, who are based down in London, and then we went down and recorded the next batch of songs with them. So the Neon and Daylight song, that's still just cupboards, microphone, laptop, and just mixing and recording ourselves.
Fantastic. Well, we are going to play it, and I appreciate you guys making time for us today. Thanks for coming on.
Of course, thank you so much for having us. Yeah.
Thank you, guys. Have yourself a wonderful, wonderful evening. There they go, and we are going to play this track. It is fantastic, and it's Neon and Daylight, and it's here on kjagradio.com.
Contact lenses, green or blue or both, it's up to you. Looking cool, just confidence and ugly clothes. Leave your ankles cold, not the picture that's on the wall. Frame not the focal point, second place on the podium. Neon and daylight, blissfully painfully dull. Oh, hurts my eyes so little. Set off by the night, contrast clear inside. Oh, my conscience is you. Oh, to feel what I feel. Look at all that empty skin. If songs are like tattoos, then yours, they clearly don't mean shit. No superstar would cover hearts on sleeves like this. Be left without your feathers at the peacock gate. That's what keeps you warm, not the picture that's on the wall. Frame not the focal point, second place.